Good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, March 21st. The time right now in Singapore is 3 minutes past noon. And overnight, we see very little action because the market is basically waiting for tomorrow FOMC meeting, in which the Federal Reserve will have a hard decision to make whether to hike interest rate by 50 basis point or to hike by 25 basis point or to pause the rate hike in light of the turmoil in the banking sector as we see. Okay, whatever the case is, the market has been in a wait and see mode right now. There's no major move. On Wall Street, we can see Dow Jones actually stabilized and went back above 32,200. So basically, it's in a holding pattern. There is scope for the market to edge a little bit higher, going to 32,500 to 32,800 levels. If the market goes into this level, it is actually a sell zone. So if we get a sell signal within this range of prices, it is actually more beneficial to trade to the downside than the upside. Okay, and S&P 500 remains the same. We have a bit of a rebound, but last night we have no new high for the week itself. High traded so far is 3,964.5, and if the market continue to edge higher into 4,056 to 4,093, that will be an area of vulnerability, and I do expect the re-emergence of selling interest, and this is where I think the market may actually pulls back down to challenge the 3,764.5. So there is that scope for the market to go up and then come back down. Over in the Nasdaq, last night we have a situation in which both the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 registered marginal gains, whereas the Nasdaq 100 suffer a loss on a day-to-day basis. So we can see the high traded is 12,674.3, and this is an there's a very good likelihood that we may have already seen the high for Nasdaq 100. So long as the market do not take out 12,881, there's scope for the market to come back down again. Okay, so we have to watch how the market unfolds post FOMC. Over in the Nikkei 225, we can see Nikkei today is closed for the vernal equinox day, which is a new holiday which only recently has been enacted by the Japanese parliament, and there is no market today. But based on yesterday's trading pattern, we can see the market has the possibility of changing, possibly rebounding higher, ideally to between 27,435 to 27,700. So if this is the case, look out for possible sell signals to sell this market all the way down to 25,661. Okay, over in Hang Seng, we see a bit of a rebound, but very marginal, almost inconsequential. I think the market momentum is suggesting that we may see further losses in the days ahead, possibly towards the 17,400 to 18,100 range. That will be the technical buy range. Okay, over in the CSI 300, which is a major Chinese mainland equity index, there is hardly any activity. Market looks like it may be drifting lower marginally to somewhere between 3,860 to 3,920 levels. I think that area possibly may see the re-emergence of some kind of profit taking. So we watch out those levels. Over in the energy market, we can see that there was a rebound in the crude oil prices from a low of $64.33 from the Friday's low. So we can see this rebound here may extend higher, but you see, if you want to buy, I think not sure whether this is a great place to buy, but if you can take your chance and place your stop below $64, hoping that the market may actually go up to $72.60 thereabout, I think there is scope for that bounce here. But by and large, I still see further weakness in the months ahead, possibly below $64.33. Like I mentioned, ideally the price should want to go and challenge $62, if not $61. I think that will be a much better area to go in to buy, but let's see what happens. Okay. Over the gold market, we saw that gold actually surged to a new high for the year at $2,009.84. Now, this $2,000, of course, is a very nice and round number, and eventually it broke. But on the day, the hour that it broke, you can see what happened. The market has a reversal pattern. So that is cautioning us not to chase this market any further. There is a possibility the market may have hit a temporary high. We may see a pullback to as deep as $1,900 now. That will be a great price to consider repositioning longs. Okay, so this area of price range is between 1,833 to 1,910. So do watch out for the possibility of gold pulling back into this bracket, and then if it does, then will be great news for all of us because we can buy at a much cheaper price. Okay, silver traded to a high overnight at $22.72. There's no sign that it is coming back down again. So it may come down together with gold if gold actually pulls back. But again, we have to see because the attention right now is not on silver, it's on gold basically. But if we have a pullback to $21 or $21.30, that will be a great place to consider buying. Okay. Over in the dollar index, we continue to see weakness in the dollar index as a dollar pulls back. Even though we have already seen some kind of calmness returning back to the banking sector, but by the action in the currency market, we can see that this is possibly a false dawn. There's a possibility that this thing is not over yet, and I do personally believe that more banks is probably will meet the same fate, and there it will cause further stress in the banking sector. We can see prices are coming back down. The dollar is coming back down, and there is a possibility it may just continue to drift lower and lower to all the way to 101.80. Unfortunately, yesterday I went long near this low price of 103, and market has gone below my buying price now. I just hope that there's a marginal rebound in the hours ahead, so I can relieve myself of that long position and then reposition my long at 101.15 to 101.80 levels, because overall long term I'm still bullish on the dollar. Okay. And over in the currency market, we can see that the sterling went up to a high yesterday, to a high of 122.85, and not sure whether we have hit the peak yet, because if the dollar continue to weaken, obviously the peak in the sterling is not in yet, so we will have to monitor it. But if we see a rebound back, then I think there's a good chance we may probably should remove this is no longer valid. Okay, so if we can see a rebound, that would be great, but we will have to see how things pans out. This low here that we saw could be a technical level 120. So if we, for whatever reason, see a pullback to 120, that will be a great level to reposition longs in the sterling versus the dollar. Okay, so we will have to watch out. For the time being, I have no view. Okay, in the euro versus the dollar, I'm more bearish than ever. If the market managed to rebound even higher to 107.70 to 108.35, that will be an area in which I'll be very, very keen to look for selling interest. If it does, I'm more than happy to sell euro versus the sterling, okay, because the euro is fundamentally weak. Okay, over in Aussie, this market is a bit neutral. It seems to be forming in a three-wave rally. If the market can actually go up and do a marginal high somewhere around the 0.6740, that will be a great level, followed by a sell signal. I think the market is going to go back down and take out the 65.50 levels. Okay. Over in the dollar yen, we can see the dollar continue to weaken very much like what we saw in the dollar index. So yesterday we have a low of 130.54, and it does not look like it has reversed yet. So there is the possibility we may see much a marginally lower price. But again, do not expect too much going into the FOMC. It will be explosive only after the FOMC meeting. Okay, so in the meantime, for the next 24 hours, 24 hours, I don't expect too much of activity in all markets across the board. Okay. Over in dollar CAC, we're also seeing very much like what we saw in Aussie versus the dollar. We're probably seeing a three-way corrective, and if I'm already short from a position that I held for more than 2 weeks, and if the market continue to drift lower to 136, I'm more than happy to take profit and then exit the market and see what happens next. Okay. Over in Bitcoin, we can see Bitcoin continue to charge higher. This morning, we have a marginal high, 28,567. So this thing has been going up non-stop since the low that was traded on March 23rd. So we can see, on March the 10th. So this is almost a 2 weeks old rally without having any sensible pullback. So it will be great to see if we can get some kind of pullback in the Bitcoin itself. If we can get something like a 50%, that would be great. Let me see where the 50% mark is. Okay, if we can get some kind of 50% from this pullback here, that will be, I think, an ideal level to look for buying interest. Okay, and it so happens that 50% pullback also is very near this consolidation range. Okay, and I think 24,100 seems to be a fairly good price to actually reposition longs. Okay, and the issue with stablecoin is by no means over yet. I think that we will probably see an eruption in the stable coin space because simply the failure of Signature Bank is more impactful than the failure of Silvergate. But when two are combined, those are acting as a bridge to the normal traditional banking world. So if we have the bridge being burned, so stable coin basically would now be quite vulnerable to sell off. Okay. Now we have to watch this space. Over in Ethereum, we have a high of $1,846.50. And overnight, we can see the pullback in Ethereum is a little bit deeper than what we saw in Bitcoin. So on a relative basis, I think the first pullback I think will be more viable, more visible in the Ethereum market. So if the market have a pullback 50%, it is also very near where the bottom of the last consolidation is, which is around $1,610. So we do watch out for those levels to come back. And if you want to buy, I think that will be a much sensible place to buy. Okay. In the meantime, that's all I have for you. Now remember, the FOMC is scheduled for tomorrow, but based on timing, we are 12 hours ahead of New York. So that will effectively put it on Thursday morning at 2 a.m. Singapore time. And then on Thursday afternoon, we do not only have the Bank of England going to announce the interest rate decision, we also have the Swiss National Bank also announcing their rate decision just before the BOE does that. Okay, so in the meantime, do watch out for those two news. Okay, in the meantime, take care, and I will come back to you again tomorrow. Bye bye.